Hey there, Vikings. Welcome back to the playthrough. We are on episode 19, and as you can see behind me, we did what I said I was going to do at the end of episode 18, which is I was going to build the crafting room onto the side of our house, which we have done. You can see it there. We've done a couple of other things. We've got these stacks of stone here, which we've used 50 stone to build. It's just a decorative piece, but you can take them down. It's another way of storing large amounts of items like stone and wood and stuff like that. And yeah, let's have a quick look around at this new room that we've built. There isn't a floor to it, and I don't really intend on putting a floor into it. We don't really have need of one. It's not much of it's not a room that we're going to sleep in or anything like that. We're not going to make any, put too much in terms of decoration and stuff like that. It's more just of a practical room for our crafting tables and other things. We have also moved some of the chests into there, so a lot of the useful crafting materials like the leather bits and the bone, the resin, all that kind of stuff has been moved into that room as well, so it's right next to the tables, so we've got easy access to them. We've also moved the food chests to a little bit closer to the cooking stations, so they're a bit easier to get access to once we need them. And yeah, that's pretty much everything we did. We have a lot of wood left over from our building session, so we are just going to start chucking that in the charcoal kiln and making some more coal, because we are going to need it to smelt down the ore that we brought back at the end of our previous episode. Part of me was thinking, should I be smelting the ore at the same time as building that room? If I wanted to be very optimal about it, I could have done that, but I decided not to. I thought we should probably leave that part in, at least the first part, the first amounts of ore that we're smelting down, just so you guys have a bit of a view on us, how long it usually takes and different ways of being able to do it as well. So yeah, we've just left that for now. We didn't bother doing that. In future building sessions, if we have to do any, I might do other smaller annoying things that we don't want to keep in during those episodes as well. But yeah, just going to crack on with smelting down some of this tin. We're going to need plenty of it doing. We are going to have to go out and get some more. And to be fair, we're going to need a lot more copper and tin. We're going to need a lot of bronze going forward for all of the upgrades and armor and stuff like that we want to build. And yeah, we are going to need to go back out and do that. But for now, I am just going to smelt down the tin and copper that we've got. We're going to make it into bronze because we want to make a bronze wood axe and a bronze pickaxe. Wood axe will have to be the first one because we need that to cut down some specific trees in order to get a specific type of wood in order to build the pickaxe. It's a little bit awkward, but we do need to do that first. Just going to chuck these extra bits of stone down and get them out of the cart so the cart is empty. We could also knock the cart down and move it with us if we wanted to. We probably will once we go back to the Black Forest to start mining some more. We'll probably just knock the cart down because we'll get all the bits back for it to rebuild it, so that we can just carry it over in our inventory and then rebuild it once we get to where we're going. Okay, now that we've covered the new building and all the new chests and locations and stuff like that, give you a brief overview of what we've changed in the downtime. I'm kind of in two minds about what to do in today's episode. Part of me does want to go back out and continue mining because we are going to need a boatload more copper and tin, but I also don't want to do that because we literally just got back at the end of episode 18 from a big copper and tin farm. And then part of me was thinking we could go and clear that crypt that we didn't finish the last time we were there. But then I'm also thinking that because we've started smelting down all of this copper and tin, we can actually start building some of the upgrades we need now, like the house upgrades. There's some new cooking stations and stuff we can build. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm in two minds about what to do. I think for now we're just going to stick at home, we're going to wait for all the copper and tin to smelt, and we're going to build these upgrades that we can build now. There's an upgrade for the forge we can build that needs 5 bronze. There's also the cooking pot or the cauldron that we can build as well, which is our first proper cooking station that will give us a whole bunch of recipes to make. For now, we are just going to quickly upgrade the club. We are going to go back to the crypts at some point, or the burial chambers at some point. We are going to need a boatload more surtling cores as we're progressing through the playthrough. We've got a decent amount to start off. 19 is a pretty good amount of surtling cores to get started with. Excuse me, I'm a bit gassy, I've just had lunch. But yeah, I think more surtling cores is definitely going to be needed for the other use that they have. We've got 2 smelters and a charcoal kiln, which is 15, and then we've got 4 left, which is enough for our first thing that we're going to build with it when we get to that. There are other things that we need that we desperately we have to upgrade to get there. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, this next bit. we are right on the cusp of getting a whole bunch of new things to build and to craft and to gather and stuff like that. We're literally right on the cusp of it. These 2 bronze tools that we're about to craft are the main, like, thing that's going to push us over that edge. So, yeah, we're a bit... I think that's why I'm in 2 minds, because I'm like, oh, I'm so close to being able to gather all this new stuff and start building all this new stuff, but part of me wants to go and get more copper and tin, because we're going to take ages building that too. But first of all, we are going to put in this cauldron. So we need a campfire to go underneath it, otherwise it's not going to cook. And we've forgotten that we need to have the forge nearby in order to build it, because it's made out of metal. We need the forge for that. And the forge being all the way over here means that the build area for it is too far away. So I was correct about not putting it along that wall. I think I'm going to put it either on this wall, or we might put it closer to the entrance. I'm not sure. We'll put it close to the entrance to start with, just to make sure we can actually build the cooking pot there. And go! And then, yep, we're going to go and build our cauldron, our first official cooking station. These 3 to the left of it are just things that you can cook meat on. You can't really make anything else, but as you can see now, we've unlocked a whole bunch of crafting recipes. We've got boar jerky, all these different meads, queen's jam. Now, the meads are basically potions. They're brews or something like that, if you want to, however you want to define them. They're potions, essentially. But we also have a whole bunch of, we have a couple of new foods. Queen's jam, which is blueberries and raspberries for a nice stamina boost. Boar jerky, which is like the upgraded food from mushrooms. You get 23 of stamina and health, so it's pretty good. And then you've got all these meads, minor healing, minor stamina. We've got the poison resistance as well, which we're desperately going to need when we start going to the swamp, because lots of things in the swamp can poison you, and poison is a nightmare when you get poisoned in the swamp. It hits a lot harder than anything we've seen so far. So yeah, poison resistance is something we're desperately going to need. But for now, we do have an upgrade for the forge, which we want to build, which is the anvils. We just need wood and copper for it. Sorry, wood and bronze. So we're just going to craft the copper and tin into bronze on the forge. Now, one thing you might have noticed there, which I completely missed and then messed up, was that with bronze, you can either make 1 bar of it or 5. Which is, I quite like that. So let's just say you mine out enough for 100 bronze. You don't want to have to sit there and craft 100 bars of bronze. So you'd have to do it 20 times in order to get that 100, but it's better than doing it 100 times. There we go. That's our forge at level 2. We haven't got any new crafting options from that, but it does mean that we can now start upgrading any of the items we craft at the forge, which is always good. We are going to need to upgrade a lot of those items once we get them. But you will have noticed in previous episodes that I've mentioned one of the most important things that I would always recommend when you're progressing through the game and getting that next level of like metal and items and stuff like that is to always go for the upgrades first. So always upgrade your tables and your stations and stuff like that first, rather than making weapons and tools and armor and stuff with it. It's always better to get the upgrades first, because the upgrades are more valuable in terms of what you can use them for. Now I think we're going to just pop back out, refill all of these because they have finished. Pretty sure we've got more coal than that. I think I've left it in the chest with all the bars. So we're still going to need lots more of this, is the thing. Like I said, when we had our mathematics episode, we were trying to work out how to make 100 bronze. And we needed about 600 copper in order to do it. Sorry, copper. We needed about 600 coal in order to do it. We are going to need a lot of coal over the course of our playthrough. Thousands and thousands. Coal is probably the thing you'll use the most. If not wood, then it'll be coal you use the most of. Probably is wood, actually, because you need wood in order to turn it into coal. So if you need 600 coal, you also need 600 wood. So yeah, my brain wasn't a bit of a brain fart there. I'm just going to fill this up with some more copper, because we need some bronze in order to make our next level of axe and pickaxe. Sadly, it's not near nighttime yet, so we won't be able to just skip this one in terms of sleeping through it. Yep, just fill those up and get them going. Okay, so I think we've got enough bronze now, at least with the copper and tin, and when we turn it into bronze bars. I think we've got enough to make the axe. Obviously, we're going to need a bit of wood for it as well. I believe the axe also needs some leather scraps too, so we'll have to remember to grab those on the way in. We're a bit overweight with the wood, so we're going to have to quickly run to the forge, turn this into bronze. There we go, we can use the 5 bronze. Bang, there we go. And then we've got a couple of bars left to make, but that has reduced our carry weight, so that is a thing as well. You may think that because you're using 3 bars to make 1, that 1 bar might weigh more. It doesn't. You still keep the standard weight of a bar, so you don't have to worry too much about being over encumbered all the time. We go back, pick up our wood, grab the leather scraps, and it should be available. Yep, there we go, bronze axe. Now this bronze axe is the first of the 2 major upgrades that we currently need. Actually, to be fair, we don't even really need the bronze pickaxe per se. The reason why I want the bronze pickaxe is because of its higher level of durability and its increased amount of damage that it'll do. It'll make mining copper and tin a lot quicker, and we can do it for a lot longer because the pickaxe itself does last longer in terms of durability. It's not a massive jump. It doesn't mean you'll be able to be out there for hours without needing to repair. You will still have to come back on a semi-frequent basis to repair it, but it is significant enough that it's much better than the antler pickaxe, and also it means we don't have to carry 3 of them as well. But the major upgrade that we've now got is the bronze axe, because it gives us access to 2 new types of wood, and one of those 2 new types of wood gives us access to a whole ton of new stuff. Like, seriously, a whole ton of new stuff. We have some significant game progression coming up very shortly now that we have this axe. First thing we need to do though is we need to feed the boars. I've noticed we've only got 6 in our large pen, and I want to have a few more than this for when we next decide to slaughter. So it's not very nice talking about boars in this way. So now we can go out and there we are. Yep. So in this tree this has fallen down because other trees have fallen onto it. In a previous episode I did showcase, I think the first time we saw one of those trees get knocked down, I showcased that when we tried to whack it with our flint axe, it just came up saying too hard. So the tree itself was too hard for us to cut with that axe. We can now chop it with this bronze axe, and we do get a new type of wood from it, and we will get a absolute shed load of new recipes once we actually pick that wood up. Just going to make sure we've eaten, and we've got... Should we refresh our rested buff as well? Just going to grab some stamina food. We've had a yellow mushroom, we'll have a red mushroom, we'll grab some honey. 35 stamina, very nice. Absolutely, yeah, we will grab our rested buff as well. It's not 5 minutes, but might as well refresh it while we're here. We've been inside for a while. There we go. Nice and quick. Perfect. We are also going to look at upgrading the comfort level in this room at some point as well. We have freed up a lot more space now that we've gotten rid of the 2 crafting tables, so we might start sticking some comfort items in here. But yeah, so for now, let's just go and grab this new type of wood. So these birch trees, once you cut them up, you can see we can now deal damage to them. We can now cut them up into bits with our bronze axe, and once we pick these up, there we go, we have a new material called fine wood, and fine wood gives us a boatload of brand new crafting recipes. We have new upgrades for the forge and the crafting table, we have new decorative pieces, we also have a portal, a ward, carve, which is our next level of boat, we've got item stands, things like that. And the last one there, the fermenter, which is the keg, I like to call it. It's a keg that you can use to craft your brews. So the mead bases that you can make, the fermenter is what you need in order to ferment those into their potions. But the 2 main upgrades from all of that, first of all is the carve, the next level of boat. It looks a bit more like a Viking longship than the raft does, but it's not a Viking longship, it's not that big. It's a smaller version of one, but it is a significant upgrade in terms of speed, and it also comes with a 4-slot inventory, so that you can do some bits of gathering and mining whilst you're out and about. And the other major upgrade, which is going to be huge in terms of time saving, is the portal. So, this is the thing I've been hinting at for episodes and episodes. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this copper and tin back as soon as possible, is portals. Portals. You can travel everywhere almost instantly. It's so much quicker than having to run and sail everywhere. We will still have to run around and explore, we will still have to sail to new islands and stuff like that, but sailing back and forth and running back and forth to the same spots over and over gets very tedious in any game whatsoever. So having portals, even though some people might think it's unrealistic or might not want to use them, you don't have to use them if you don't want to. I'm pretty sure in the hardest level of difficulty, portals are disabled completely. I even think the map's disabled as well, so you kind of have to do everything by eye, which is kind of cool actually. I wouldn't mind giving that a try at some point in the future. But yeah, for the way we're playing, portals are a huge upgrade. It's going to save us so much time. It's also going to help us not have to mine in the Black Forest at night time, as we can literally just jump through the portal to pop home, go to bed, wake up, jump out of bed, straight through the portal again and continue mining like we were doing. So yeah, portals are a huge upgrade. Now, portals are the thing that I've been hinting at a lot when it comes to the Surtling cores and the Grey Dwarf Eyes. You need 10 Grey Dwarf Eyes, 20 Fine Wood, and 2 Surtling cores per portal. And then obviously, whenever you're setting up a new portal-like system, a portal to and from somewhere, you need 2 of them. So obviously, all the materials you need for one portal, you have to double them in order to get a working portal built. Obviously, our first portal is going to be built in that Black Forest where we're mining all of the copper and tin from. It's obviously it's like the most obvious place to build our first one, as we can go back and forth mining, repairing, sleeping through the nighttime, all that kind of good stuff, getting food buffs. But we are going to need quite a lot of this fine wood in order to build that, as well as the carve as well. The carve, the next level of boat, does require a lot of materials to build. I did hint at it earlier when we built bronze nails. We are going to need 80 of those for this new boat. But again, this is something we'll cover once we actually get to it. But I'm actually quite glad we're doing this in the first episode of this current session. We don't have to go back and mine anymore. We can take a bit of a break from doing that, and I can go through all these really cool new upgrades. I really like the carve. It's a significant upgrade from the raft. It's so much quicker, and it just makes life a lot easier. I don't prefer it to the next level of boat after the carve. It is smaller and nimble, so it's pretty cool when you'd like using it to sail down rivers and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to maneuver and stuff, but there are some downsides of it as well, which is, the lower amount of health. You still can't take on any of the sea monsters with it, and the small inventory it comes with. You only get 4 slots, so even if you were to mine stuff while you're out there, you could only do 4 amounts of it, which is not bad, but the inventory upgrade on the 3rd level of boat is a significant upgrade. I think it's about the same size as our inventory, like the same as the cart. It's huge. So yeah, I'm just happy that we've now got these upgrades. Gonna chuck some more raspberries in for these guys. Might as well dump them in there for now. These are done, but we are full on wood and fine wood, so let's just dump those in there. Put some more wood in. Obviously keep refreshing these so they can keep making more coal for us. But yeah, we've got some significant upgrades now. And then the next upgrade we're going to need as well in terms of wood, the next bit of wood that we can get. Now, I have hinted at this several times as well, but it's something that I've kept saying it as well. I've said it several times in terms of needing to double check whether I'm correct about this or not. But the other type of wood that you can get now that we have a bronze axe is core wood, which is a stronger type of wood that you can get from the Black Forest. In the Black Forest, you might have noticed, if you're playing along as well, you might have noticed there's 2 types of trees. There are, I think they're ash trees, I think they're called, or fir trees, and then there's pine trees. It's either fir or ash trees, whichever one it is. They just give you standard wood. They look like the standard trees that you cut down next to your base and stuff like that in the meadows. And then there are also pine trees, which take longer to cut down, but you do need a bronze axe for them. At least I'm pretty sure you need a bronze axe for them. It's a tree that I haven't tested the theory, but I'm not 100% sure whether you can cut them down with a flint axe or not. They might come up saying too hard, or you might be able to cut them down. I cannot remember. But now that we've got the bronze axe and have a higher durability and can deal more damage with it, it should make it getting it easier. And I believe that was probably our first time completely filling the charcoal kiln and the smelters before going to sleep. So you could probably hear there whilst we were sleeping, but all 3 of them were going absolutely mad whilst we were sleeping. You could hear them pumping out constantly. And then as we pop out now in the morning, they're all completely finished. So yeah, completely skipped them over. I might have mentioned this already. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, just wanted to showcase that as well. Nice and quick, easy way of getting a whole stack done at once. Just dump all those in there. We've got a little bit of copper left to do. Don't think we're really going to need it. Although I think we are going to have to pop back to the Black Forest and get some of the this core wood in order to build the bronze pickaxe. I think we've got enough bronze to make the pickaxe. I just don't think we've actually got the wood. It's the wood we actually need for it. We'll have to double check the recipe on that one. But we can also now make our carve, which we're going to do very shortly. We're just going to dump some of the stuff we picked up. The thing about carves and the next leather boat as well is you are going to need deer hides for them in order to make the sail. So yeah, we are going to need to continue hunting deer. This is one of the things I hinted at in a previous episode when I said that we were nearly finished from the meadows. You'll never be completely finished from the meadows. You'll always need to gather certain things from there constantly, like raspberries, deer hides, stuff like that. But it's something that we can gain passively rather than having to go out on a big farming session. Unless, of course, we need, say if we need 10 deer hide and we've got 2, then yeah, we will have to go out and farm a few deer, but it won't take too long. Especially now that we've got a good level of bow. Or, sorry, we're about to get a good level of bow. We can also make a fine wood stack. So that's the other things as well. So the stacks of stone we have outside. Or we can make a dragon head. Where can we stick this? Can we stick it on here, or do you think it'll be too heavy? I think it might fall off here. I don't think the stability of those two would hold that. Stick it on the wall here, though. Nice little dragon head, just stick it on the side of the wall. We'll probably save that for a future house build. And here's the portal. One of my favourite things in the whole game. Makes life so much easier. Kind of makes sense when you see the size of the world map. Like, honestly, one of the things I'd recommend doing if you haven't done it yet is to go on the world map and zoom all the way out and just see the size of the world that you're on. It's huge. So yeah, portals. Now these wards are useful things as well if you're ever playing on a multiplayer server with lots and lots of different people, whether you know those people or not. This is the new car, the new boat. Looks a bit like a Viking longship, but it's a very rudimentary version of it. Very small, but still quite fast and nimble. But yeah, the ward, what it does is it prevents other people, so if you place the ward down, it prevents other people on that server from being able to open doors and chests and to build things and knock things down. So it basically just protects your base. If you're playing on, say, like a public server, or if there's a lot of you playing on one server, so there's like 10 or 20 of you, it just protects your base, so people can't walk into your house and nick your stuff and knock your buildings down and stuff like that. It just prevents griefing, which again, it's a quality of life thing I'm really glad that they added. Oh, we're carrying too much. But I'm not going to bother dumping it. Oh god, here, getting up these stairs is going to be a pain. Oh, there we go. Can we get on the top? Come on, come on, come on. No, he's not going to make it. Yeah, we're going to have to chuck it out. Alright, drop the copper, make it up there. That last little lip at the top is so irritating. We might have to reposition those stairs. So, like I was explaining in a previous episode, with carry weights, you can still move when you're overweight. It's very slow, and you can see our stamina draining underneath us. If that stamina runs out, we won't be able to move any further. But you can still move, so you could still like slowly transport a lot of items over to your table. And we make our forge cooler. Just need some fine wood. Oh, we can also make the adze, or the adze, or however you pronounce it. That is another upgrade for our crafting table. That puts it up to level 4 now. We put that there. Oh, it's because we're overweight and we had no stamina. That's why I couldn't build it. There we are. Now we can pick it back up. Workbench level 4. Perfect. You can see in the top right of the workbench screen, we've got level 4 now, so we've got high level of upgrade for some items. And how many bars do we have left? 8. What do we need for... we can't actually... Yeah, the pickaxe doesn't show up as an option yet because we don't have the... what's it called? We don't have the core wood, so the recipe won't show up in the table until you've got all the materials you need to actually build it. So that's something to be aware of as well. Certain recipes might not show up for you if you know about the recipes but they're not showing up in the table. It's because you haven't got all of the items that you need for it yet. So we have the bronze, but we don't have the core wood, so the recipe isn't showing up. A bit annoying, but I suppose we'll survive. And then now we can put down... We've got copper and fine wood. We can build the forge cooler. That puts our forge at level 3. Fantastic. So they're probably going to leave the forge here then. I was thinking about repositioning it, but it's going to be used for a lot of building in terms of like metallic things that we build in this like house area here. So we might just leave it there. We'll put the chests next to it once we need those. Put the birch seeds in there. We'll plant those when we get to the option 2. We're going to need a pretty steady supply of fine wood over the course of the playthrough. It's used for a lot of different things. I think we'll just pop it in this chest for now with the rest of the wood. Yeah. I think we're going to go back over to the Black Forest soon because we are going to need some core wood, but we also might need a few more bits of copper and tin in order to make the pickaxe as well. A bit irritating, but we will have to do that at some point. I think for now we'll just make some boar jerky. 1 bit of boar meat and 1 bit of honey gives you 2 bits of boar jerky. That gives you 23 health and 23 stamina. But it also lasts for 30 minutes, so it's our longest lasting food so far as well. So it's quite a decent value. You don't get a huge amount of health and stamina from it. It's only 23, which a lot of people might think it's not that much. But in terms of the length of time that it lasts for, and for how many you get for what you're using to craft it, I think it's very good value in terms of food. And we're going to take yellow mushrooms because we have quite a lot of those, and then we'll take cooked boar meat instead of cooked deer meat, although we could probably have deer meat as well if we wanted to. We'll have those as our 3 foods for the time being because they will last us a decent amount of time. Just wait for these to finish cooking. Come on, come on, come on. Obviously we don't want to burn them, but we should have them done very shortly. We are going to think about building the boat at some point soon as well. Just make sure that I think that bit of wood there might be blocking the smoke because it's all collecting at the top of the roof, or the top of the ceiling, sorry. Take that section down off the side. I just want that draining out a bit better, or clearing out a bit better. Kind of is. We might have to put another chimney in or a larger one at some point in the future. How does it look in terms of taking that side panel off? It looks okay. It's not that bad. How are the bees getting on? Bees are fine. You've got 2 bits of honey. We don't need to empty you just yet. Food's done. We've got our new cooking station. We're just going to get our rested buff and eat our food. One thing you'll notice as well is that while we're resting and we've eaten, our health ticks per 5 seconds. They are a lot larger than... oh, that was an accident. My bad. Did not mean to activate Acthea there. That was a mistake, although we might as well use it now. So yeah, when you're in your building and you've got rested or you're resting and you've eaten but your health bar's quite empty, the health ticks. I'm not sure what the exact multiplier is, but you get much more health. Your health heals up a lot quicker. It's because you're resting. I think it might be ×3 or ×5 in terms of what you wouldn't get normally. But yeah, if you've got, say, food that's going to take you up to 200 health, then, but you're on, say, you start on 25, then I'd probably say before you head out, just let it tick up to, like halfway or 2/3 of the way up, so at least you've got a semi-decent health bar before you start going into any danger. Yeah, I think we're just going to head over to the Black Forest now, trying to avoid these boar. And I think this will be a good point to call this episode, and we'll hopefully be able to start crafting our new ship or a new boat and our portals, and then obviously go back and gather a lot more copper and tin for our big bronze upgrade sesh that we're going to do. We obviously have to get the next level of armor and some more weapons and tools. So yeah, I think this is a good point to call the episode here. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. We've certainly had a lot to cover in this one, and we'll have a lot more to cover in future episodes as well. So thank you all for watching, and I hope we'll see you in the next episode.